Hey guys, it's Brandon here again at Vape Extreme. Kind of on a video roll tonight, so I got a crap load of stuff in the last few days. I banged off 3 reviews the other day, 2 or 3 days ago, and I wanted to get a few more done just due to the fact that I'm on night shift. And I've got a little bit of spare time because this is the only day I have off, which is a Sunday. Actually, now it's Monday. It's about 2:30. Yeah, about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. So I've done a few reviews on Vivi Nova's Stardusts, Cardo tanks, atomizers, and stuff like that, and a few rebuildables. Now, this was sent to me from a China supplier, again, but this is... It's not really a review, it's just kind of an update on people that have been using Vivi Novas, that are looking into getting into the SVT kits. There are a few differences in the two kits, the standard Vivi Nova and the SVT. There are a lot of Canadian vendors and there's a lot of American vendors that are selling it as a kit. I got this one here just as the full setup, and I'll kind of run through a few differences because of the fact that I do have a couple Vivi Novas that I use on a regular basis. So I'm going to show you a few differences that I've noticed with the newer version of the Vivi Novas or the SVTs compared to the older versions. Now, the old version Vivi Nova, which is basically this here, I'm not going to focus in because of course it doesn't work. It's a standard device. You have your removable drip tip on the top, your top cap threads off, and this one's full of juice of course, and your bottom cap threads out. The head's removable, also rebuildable. But generally when you order in the Vivi Nova as a kit, as my fan kicks back on, you will get 3 heads that are replaceable in different resistances. 1.8, a 2.4, and a 2.8 I believe is what the resistances are. But the heads themselves, you can break them down if you feel like going that far, but you can break them down, recoil them, and re-wick them if you decide to do so, and they perform very well. It's basically a CE2 style device. I don't have any of the original CE2 style devices because they just did not perform. The Vivi Novas perform very well, whether they're in a long wick or a short wick version. I've seen some people actually using the stainless steel wicks in them as well. I don't know how well that works. I haven't tried it yet, but some people say they work fantastic, so that's also another variable if you want to get that far with it. Now, the upgrades from the original Vivi Nova to the SVTs, if I'm saying that properly. Now, the SVTs are basically a regular Vivi Nova in certain aspects, with a metal or an outer shell which basically covers the plastic tank, giving you a bit of a view window. You can order them in a variety of different colors, but it's basically just kind of a steel cover. Now, the SVTs come with a larger style tank, and they pretty much break down the same way. You get basically a few more parts, one more part in all actuality. So the kit that was sent to me, and I'm going to show you pieces because I don't want to move my camera. I'll kind of show you in pieces. So you have the base, which is pretty much standard. One of the improvements that I have noticed is the center pin is now spring loaded, which is fantastic. If you have an older device or something where you've pushed the center pin down too far and you have to post pull all the time, these here will pretty much make the contact for you. They're spring loaded. The only issue that you may find is juices that are higher in VG, if they sit there for a while, you may have some kind of like a gumming up issue where the pin may stick in. I haven't had that problem as of yet. I vape a variety of different VG, PG ratio juices. I haven't had the problem yet, but I can almost see that being a bit of an issue later on down the road. I'm not 100% sure though. But it's just kind of a thought process that they're going in the right direction with that. So basically you have your base, then you have your head, which of course threads in. Mine has 4 wicks in it, right? And this one here is rated at 2.4 ohms, which neither here nor there. I think I ohmed out the one that I've actually got full, and it came out at like 3.2. So they're a little bit off on the resistance in the one that was sent to me. Then of course you have your plastic tank, whoops, which these ones here are now rated at 3.5 mils. Okay, you're not going to be able to see that, of course. Now, here is another difference between your standard Vivi Nova and your SVT. Now, you can get the kits that will convert your standard Vivi Nova to an SVT, and it will use, I believe, the original tank. But your end caps and your cover will, of course, be your new parts. Now, the biggest difference that I've noticed, this is the top cap off a standard Vivi Nova. This is the top cap off a Vivi Nova SVT. As you can tell, it is a lot thicker. For a couple reasons, I believe. Is the fact that your, actually here, let's actually do a real comparison. So this is the tank off a standard a standard Vivi Nova. This is going to be a long video again. Here is your tank from a SVT Vivi Nova. As you can tell, they are exactly the same size. The difference is the markings, which let's try and see if I can get that to focus in. So as you can tell, the original Vivi Nova, which is this one here, is 2.8 mils, and the SVT is 3.5 mils. Now, of course, your question is, well, how the hell is that possible? They're the exact same size. Well, there is a difference. The original Vivi Novas will hold 2.5 mils of juice, give or take a few mils. Now, the SVT, so I can get this to thread back together. The SVT, with it having a thicker top cap and a much deeper and thicker bottom cap, you actually have that little more juice that will actually sit in the bottom well. Let's try with the focus. So as you can see, it's a little bit deeper than your standard Vivi Nova, right? So assembly wise is identical in every way, shape, or form as your standard Vivi Nova. Basically, you take your bottom cap with your head, you will thread your head onto the bottom cap. You will now take your tank, oh actually let's do this first. We'll take the wicks and stick them right in the very bottom, just to keep them nice and even. Slide your plastic tank on, and you'll thread it on like so, right? So there's your tank assembled. Now you'll take your shield, slide it over top like so, top cap, thread it on, and there's your SVT. Very nice. Now, performance-wise, well, let me just grab my other one. Here's one, there's two. This one here is already pre-filled. Again, they filled just like your standard Vivi, your Vivi Novas. You take your top cap off, hold it on a bit of an angle if you've got a standard dripper bottle, and then fill it up to your according marks. And the nice part is you can actually rotate the window so that you'll have your markings. Let's see if I can get that to work. So that you can see where your markings are at 3.5 mil, and then you're pretty much all set, right? Now, performance-wise, I'm going to throw this on. Let's throw it on the Vamo because I just did a review on it, and it looks kind of neat on it. So there. This one's ohming out at, oh, now it's at 2.2. I did it before on one of the other ones that I had, and it came out like 3.5. So 2.2, 2.4, it's fairly accurate. We're down to 8 volts on the Vamo, and we're vaping it at 9 watts. Performs well. Gets a little bit gurgly, but I think it's just due to the fact that I've had this thing laying on its side for the last day or so, so I can see why it's getting a little bit gurgly. Performance-wise with the SVTs, it performs pretty much identical to the Vivi Novas. The only nice part is you got the tank cover. It makes it look a little bit sleeker. With the spring loaded bottom, it's nicer for when you're threading it onto those shorter post devices. You don't have to post pull. They do take any standard drip tip, 510 drip tip, but basically, if you order in the kit, I believe the kits that will convert your standard Vivi Nova to the SVT basically comes with the shield, the bottom cap and the top cap, and of course your shield. Because your standard Vivi Novas and your SVTs, as you can tell, there is a bit of a size difference between the two of them. So they basically give you the bottom cap, the top cap, and of course your shield. So yeah, guys, it performs identical to a Vivi Nova. I think I've seen sites retailing them anywhere from $15 and up. I think the kits, the actual conversion kits, range anywhere from $8 to $12, depending on where you go. But they are available in Canada, guys. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. So the Vivi Nova SVT, I give her a thumbs up, guys. If you're looking for something to kind of spice up your mods, look-wise, definitely something I'd recommend. So, as always,